Hey, 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 good morning, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you're from. And welcome to one more stream of Karthik Bills. My name is Karthik, and today is 18th May 2020. Wow, I really don't think I know anything about how time is passing about right now. Just have no idea. It almost looks like April was just yesterday, and as like now we are in May. Uh, Looks like my sound is echoing. Welcome to the stream, Dipanshu, and thanks for finding that out. I'm not sure. I think I got this working properly the last time. Is it still echoing? I did not change any setup so far, but yeah. Is it still echoing, Dipanshu? Maybe I can just change the volume a slight bit. And okay, let us actually test that out. In fact, okay, so there we go. A bit of an inception there, but hey, hello, my testing. Hey, hello, my testing. Seems okay to me. Seems okay to me. I think there is a bit of echo. Hmm, what might be causing that? Let me check if I captured the audio correctly. The audio is coming in from my microphone. Uh, Not sure what's happening here. I'm just going to cycle through the modes again, and maybe one of these modes are going to work for us. Let's try that out. Is this mode perfect? Um, can you hear me without any issues? Is there an echo? I can see Harsh and Oxygen Box also joining in. Um, is this working fine for you folks? Just let me know if you are able to hear me properly and if there's no echo. Okay, so looks like Oxygen Box is hearing it fine. Okay, so I think I'm just going to take that cue and get started with today. Um, and today, what we are going to do is get back into our code, and I've also found out something cool. I'll talk about that in a bit, but yeah. Hey Jeff Nan, welcome to the stream. Uh, but I just um, found out how to get Skype working along with OBS. And what I'm planning to do is in a few streams, few upcoming streams, I'm going to be highlighting a few Indian creators in the voice space and talk to them a bit about what kind of skills they have built, what they have done in the voice space, and how did they overcome some challenges. So that was one idea that I had for this stream, and I want to hear from you what you think about it. There's just in the Indian community, just to give you a context, I work for the Indian team of Alexa, and I look after all the evangelism activities in India. And we have a huge and a vibrant community of voice developers, and there's just so many of innovation right there. I felt that maybe we could kind of get all of those folks on the show, hear from them and what they have done so far, and learn from them, right? So yes, that's something that I'm planning to do. Um, Anyways, let's jump back into our skills so far, what we had done. Um, so up till this point, what we had done in us. Glad to know that you're all liking the concept. I'm still figuring out a couple of things. Once I figure this out, I'll keep you guys posted on how to when we'll be doing the streams. But yes, I do have a few really interesting people to hear from and talk about. All right. So let's go into our skill today. So at this point, if you have been following this skill, at this point, we've come a pretty far way in this skill. At this point, we kind of are capturing the questions. We are asking the right questions to the user, and we are capturing the right answers. And once we capture the answers, we are kind of giving them some points and just figuring out the entire um, you know the workflow for the quizzes. So at this point, if um, if you are part of my YouTube channel, you can go and check out all those previous videos. I've uploaded all of them to YouTube. But in the last stream, there was something interesting that happened. We had Synchrophoto. I'm not sure if Synchrophoto has joined in today, but Synchrophoto was there in the last stream, and he works for AWS DynamoDB, and he helped us with a lot of resources regarding DynamoDB. And I'll get to that point at some point where we'll see how to integrate DynamoDB with your skill. But for the time being, it looks like we have what we need in our DynamoDB database methods. So these were just the three methods that we wanted to use. So far so good, but pretty much we will come back to it at some point or the other. Now let's continue to our skill. I'm going to open up the skill. Okay, so let's get started. I think I'll need to open up AWS as well. And yeah, thanks for joining in, folks. I have been planning to stream a bit early because 9 o'clock just gets too late for me. I'm just still experimenting with different timings. Right now it's 8:40, so I plan to do like an hour today on Monday because I've just got a couple of calls after this. But yes, maybe this is the new time that we might stick to. We'll figure out. And I do have plans to do some more stuff with these streams, but yes, there's just not enough time to do the streaming all the time. I mean, if I would actually like to stream. I would like to stream full time. I love streaming that much because it just allows me to be it just allows me to be very productive, speaking to people, coding at the same time, and figuring it out with you folks. All pretty cool and interesting stuff to do. Right, so where's DynamoDB? So if I get a chance, I would do this full time. But yes, unfortunately or fortunately, I've got some other work to do as well. So yes, let's do this, right? So now open the dialog quiz. I'll just mute this side. Or rather, let's just unmute it once.
Welcome to the Ultimate Dialogue Quiz. In this game, I will play an audio clip of a dialogue from a movie, and you have to guess the actor and the movie. In each game, I will pitch you against an opponent.
I'm just going to skip over this. I'm just going to say Marlon Brando from Godfather.
Wahoo! That was easy, wasn't it? I am sure you are now ready to start your journey. Let me find a player for you to compete with.
And keep in mind,
I've
folks,
found
we
someone
are
to play with you. The player is Oxygen Box. Here is your first audio clip.
I'm gonna make an offer, Captain.
Dot, can you guess who this is?
right. So at this point, I'm playing the same audio again and again, but at some point, I'll change it with the updated audio file. So I'm going to say Brad Pitt because that's the answer in here, right? So this is the answer in here. I'm just going to say Brad Pitt. Just, just let's say Brad Pitt, right?
You answered one of them correct. You get 5 points. Karthik, here is your first audio clip.
I'm gonna
Right.
make an offer, Captain.
So at this point, what's happening is once I say Brad Pitt, right? What's happening is it's coming in here, which is correct, right? It was supposed to come in here. It was supposed to come to either the actor is correct or the movie is correct. Now from here, what's happening is it's coming in here, right? It's coming into this place where it is kind of fetching the opponent and uh, doing all those things there. So maybe what we could do here is kind of keep all of this into a method and call this method only when the first question is asked. Uh, only when the first question is supposed to be asked, only then we need to call this logic, right? The fetch opponent logic. So we don't want to ask the fetch opponent logic again and again. So let's do one thing. Let me kind of get all of these things. So this is where we kind of go to the fetch opponent function, and the fetch opponent function fetches the opponent, right? So I think what we'll do here is right. So I think we should, and what we should do is we should kind of get all of these fetch opponent stuff wrapped up in one function, so that we don't call this function again and again, right? Okay, so let's take all of this, okay, and I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Okay, will figure it out sooner or later. So what I'm doing here is I'm getting the this is how I get the how about we kind of get all of these things in here and just have one function for fetching the opponent, right? So what we are going to do here is let's delete the code. And what we'll do here is let's copy this code, let's keep it in here, basically inside this promise. And inside this promise, what we are going to do here is so speak output dot data dot name, and what we'll do here is let's do let's speak output is equal to empty. I think that's fine. We are going to say speak output plus data name, and then the session attributes, we are going to add the question. We are going to add the question in here. So this would be opponent data dot game dot questions, and then let audio file is equal to audio files URL plus the data that we are coming in, and we have to get the 0th one and resolve speak output, right? So what's going to happen is you're just sending the speech output back, Okay, we are doing all the processing right here. Let me know if what I'm not doing does not make sense to any of you. Uh, Happy to walk through, because some of these things are just in my head, and maybe I might just do this and this might just come naturally to me. But if you think I'm doing something wrong or I'm doing something fast, feel free to let me know in the chat window. Uh, but yeah, that's what we are planning to do now. We will do all the calculations here and send back just the speech output. Okay. Okay, so now I just see a couple of things. The very first thing is session attributes needs to be saved. Okay, so the session attributes, let's save the session attributes in here. So what I can do here is pass the session attributes and hope that it adds to it, right? So now what I'll do here is go back to this method, which is this one, and I'll just call it only when so I'll just call it only when it's the first time for the user. Okay, so this function is only for the first time. So I hope that makes sense to all of you. So what's happening here is only if it's the first time we find the opponent and do all those things. If it is the second time, that is the user answers the second question, that time onwards, this is where the logic is going to be. So here we are always going to check if it's Marlon Brando or Godfather, but the rest of the times we are always going to check if the answer matches the answer that is in our language stream, in our skill data.file, right? So I hope that's making sense to you folks. And let me just change this to let speak output plus is equal to, right? So this fetch opponent method now sends back us the speak output, right, as well as the questions, right? Here's the first audio clip and stuff like that. So that is what this function is totally going to do, right? Let's do that for here as well, right? So we just need to make sure that that is happening properly, and these the session attributes get saved. Now once the user comes in here, that is they answer the right answer, let's remove all this that we don't need. Yeah, I think that's where we stop, right? So let's just try this out. Ask deploy -d lambda. How did everyone's weekend go? Did you guys have fun on weekend? I was just relaxing on the weekend. Just did a bit of house chores as usual, but apart from that, just full on relaxing. Nothing much to do. Yeah. How did your weekends go, folk? Anyways, coming back, and I'm totally not ready for the weekend to be over. I know it's Monday and my day is already over, but I still want the weekend to come back. It's that exhausting. Okay, I think we just need to delete. Every day feels like Sunday. Tell me about it, Monish. Every day feels like Sunday. But honestly, for me, I think even though every day feels like Sunday, but working from home gives you the feeling that, hey, you got some of the other work. So for me, it's the other way around, where even Sundays feel like a work day. Auxenbox says, I worked on updating an old iPhone app. I hadn't opened Xcode in so long. That's really cool, Auxenbox. I have worked with Xcode for like 4 years, and I think the last time I opened Xcode was in 2017. Yeah, just before I think I was just 2017 mid. That's when I was kind of working on Xcode. I've written about this before as well on my blog, but there's this app called as Light Dogs that you can check out. This is something that I built for a client of mine, and yeah, this is a focus timer app. This was something that I made like in 2017, I guess. Yeah, somewhere in 2017 uh, types. But yes, Xcode is cool. Auction box. Anyways, so let's come back to this. Let's open the dialog quiz again. Now this time, let me just this time what we are going to do is you will notice, wow, there is an error. So let's first see what the error looks like. I had to update an app to meet new App Store requirements. Tell me about it. And that's something that I really love about working on the cloud. You could just upload the backend and your changes are out there. That's something that I really love about web. I mean, on the pain point of the side, you do have to try to sometimes make it work on different browsers, which can be sometimes a headache for front-end developers. But I really love the flexibility of cloud, that you could just build something and deploy and your users get to see instantly, right? So that's something I really love about the cloud. Now, anyways, let's jump into the code. What did we do wrong here? So looks like did something wrong. Here's how the data looks like. Okay, so it looks like this method. Here's how the okay, what went wrong here? Sorry, I had trouble doing what you asked. Please try again later. What did we do wrong? Let's just check if you're coming in here. I think error plus error. In fact, let me just, I think this is where the error is happening. So let's just take that error, deploy this, let's deploy. But yes, coming back to that point, Auction Box, that's one of my biggest pet peeve with working with mobile. Just need to update it every now and then, and it's so risky to do that. Yeah, but not risky per se, but just that even getting staggered rollout to work on a mobile app is so difficult, and sometimes doesn't work as intended, because at the end of the day, someone else is controlling the platform, right? Okay, anyways, deployed. Let's try this out again. Delete the user from database. Exit. Open the dialog quiz. Yep. Marlon Brando from Godfather. This is going to fail again, but this time we'll know what the error is. Was this supposed to be here? Let's see. Okay. Cannot read property Hollywood of undefined at dbhelper. Wow. You know what? Data. Ooh, okay. I think I made this mistake, folks. So where's the data part out of here? So this is, okay, so this, let's just rename this to dialogues. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to name this. So it's just a matter of naming the variables properly. Small issue, but these kind of things happen. Okay, I'm going to call this as dialogues. You know what? Maybe let's change it. I just don't like the naming scheme here. Let's call it for the time being movie data. Movie data dot dialogues, right? Movie data dot dialogues. Yeah, I'll just call it as movie data dot dialogues. So I think that should solve this issue. Yeah, Monish, I think even Dipanshu pointed out the same thing, and I need to get this fixed at some point. I'll do that. My mic test setup needs to be checked out, but the problem is sitting in such a huge room. I guess that is something that I need to figure out. All right, so it looks like it's deployed now. Let's test this out. Let's come back, DynamoDB, just delete, come back, exit, open the dialog quiz. Let's just wait. Marlon Brando from Godfather. Right, so it's working, so I have a feeling this is going to work. So now, at this point, what should happen is, once I answer the right answer, that is Brad Pitt, in fact, let's go ahead and say Brad Pitt from Fight Club. Once we do that, that's it. Okay, it should not proceed forward. It should not say, it should not say, let me find an opponent for you again, right? So that is possible now because we've just moved all this logic into here, right? Into the first time logic. So this is where it's going to go. Now, out here, what it is going to do is it's going to say, hey, you got 10 points, and that's it, right? That's what it is going to do. But now, what we are going to do is we are going to say something like, okay, you answered both of them correct and get 10 points, and your opponent answered both of them correct and they also got 10 points. So if you look at it, the opponent in this case has only 5 points, right? So they just answered one of them correct, right? So that's something that we want to highlight them, so that at every point they get to know what their what their scores are like. So it should say something like, correct answer, you get 10 points and your scores are tied with a lot of sound, right? So I think what I'm going to say is I'm going to talk about what their final score is and save it to the session variable as well. So let's actually come back here. So what we'll do here is right, this is the first time, so we don't have any logic here, but this point onwards, so this is where the first question comes in. So at the first question, we are kind of looking to increase their scores. So session attributes dot user score is equal to 10 points plus is equal to 10 points. And what we are going to do here is maybe define the session attribute somewhere. I think we need to define the session attribute somewhere, and let's actually do this here. Session attributes dot user score is equal to 0, right? Folks, again, at any point if you're confused about what I'm doing, feel free to let me know in the chat. I'm more than happy to explain to you and learn something in my as well, right? So what I'm going to do here is, if it's correct, increase the user score by 10 points. If it is wrong, if it's just one of them is correct, just make it to 5 points, right? This is what we'll be doing. So we are just increasing the user's score at this point, and then we need to tell them that you answered both of them correct. So I don't think we need to always keep telling the user that you answered both of them correct. We should tell them that, hey, correct answer you got 10 points, or correct answer you get 5 points. We should not explain to them all the time that you got both of them correct. So I'm going to say correct answer, you get 10 points, and this would be correct answer. And in fact, I think we could just take this a minute and we can get all of this here, right, where I say correct answer both, and let's actually go look for some audio files, and audio bank, Alexa design, Alexa skills kit, audio samples. What was that link again? Wow. What was it called? SSML audio samples, Alexa skills kit sound library. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's listen to this. Game sound. So let's have a positive sound. Okay, let's see how this sounds like. Yes, unmute the site. That sounds good. So positive response, I think. Wow, that was too loud. Okay, so I think, in fact, I don't think we need to even worry about that. We could just take the same sound that we had here for positive response 1. Let's just go with that, because we just want the user to have a familiarity and have an audio branding rather than worry about the response all the time. So correct answer, you get 10 points, right? And correct answer single, correct answer, you get 5 points. Okay, so this is what we are doing here. Now once we add to the user score, so what we'll do here is, let me just get handler input dot t, what's the name, right? I keep forgetting the names. Correct answer both, correct answer single, correct answer single, right? And yeah, we don't need this. So we've managed to solve this out, but what we need to do next is need to get the next question. But before that, we also need to find get next question. So let's make a method called as next question. So what we also need to add here is say that, hey, this user scored this much points, right? So the player that you're working with, the player that you're playing with, how much points did they score? So let's highlight that as well. So get next question. Yeah. Wow, it's pretty silent in the chat window today. It looks like you guys are having a serious case of Monday going around. But yes, let's do a get next question. So what I'm planning to do here is at this point have a different question. Have a different method called as get next question, which will get us the next question, but at the same time it should also tell the user how much the other person scored. Okay, so that is something that we need to define, but let's do that. Skill methods, I don't think we need this anymore, so let's function get next question, right? That's fine, Manish. Manish, you don't have to respond on the chat. I totally understand that, but yes, good to know that you're super focused on the code. So get next question is the method that we are going to be calling now, and what get next question is going to do is, and I think what we'll pass to get next question is, I have a feeling that maybe we should pass the handler input in here and do all the logic there, and speak output plus is equal to whatever is the next question that comes in from here, right? So that's how we want to handle that. Output plus is equal to get next question. Right, let's just pass in the entire handler input. I don't see any harm in doing that, and out here is where we'll handle everything about this, right? So get next question, handler input, so a couple of things, right? So next, oh no, you know what, I think I don't want to do that. I think I should just pass the session attributes. Sorry guys. And just not at the top of my game by this time. Today was pretty tiring, but I just wanted to persist and do this. The session attributes. Let's do session attributes. Now, let speech output is equal to empty string. Let opponent score is equal to session attributes dot, and let's come back to the browser to see session attributes dot. You know what, I think it is important for us to also mark which question was asked at this point, right? I think that is very important. So what we need to do here is let's go back up here. So when do we ask the first question, right? So the very first time when we ask a question is when we go to fetch opponent, right? So inside fetch opponent we need to ask session attributes dot question current question. So let's just create current question is equal to question of 0, right? So what question of 0 is going to do is it's going to get us this value, which is 1 value, right? And save it in the session value called as current question. And then what we'll do here is current question, so session attributes, so let question is equal to session attributes dot current question. So that way we'll get which was the current question to be asked, that we need to get the score for. And then what I think we'll do here is session attributes dot questions of current question, right? So after scoring, is it a good idea to tell them their current total and or how many questions are remaining? That's a good idea, Auction-Box, and I think we will get to that point. So and I think a lot of these things will keep coming in, because I want to kind of also have an APL template as well, so people know which question they are on. But when we say next question, I'll say something like question 2 of 5, question 3 of 5, question 4 of 5, or something like that. But I think we'll figure that out at some point, right? So here what we'll do is speech output is equal to plus is equal to your, I hope that makes sense, Auction-Box. So your opponent scored, right? So your opponent scored, and let's just return speech output at this point. Okay, so I'll return the speech output at this point, and the speech output gets added here, right? So speech output plus is equal to get next question, plus is equal to get next question, right? And it will tell the user that, hey, here's the next question, right? Here's how much your opponent has scored for this question. Okay, and I think at this point we also need to have the next question, in which case what we'll do here is let next question is equal to how do you want to do this? So it's going to be session, so it's going to be something like this. So next question, our questions are coming in from like this, right? This is what we need. So at this point, what we need to do here is, let's get this out here. So movie data dot dialogues, let audio file is equal to so out here what we are going to do here is there is a question of 0, so this is the keys, right? I think we should have this as well. I don't think there should be a problem in this. So that question is equal to this. Yeah, I don't have a variable to keep track of which question I'm on. Good catch there, option box, and I think that's what I need. What I think I'm going to do here is I'm also going to do something like session attributes dot current question is equal to 1, right? Or maybe I could just call this as 0, right? So 0 to 5, 0 to 4, that should be fine as well. Current question, not current question, or rather just call it as session attributes.progress, right? So how many questions have we progressed so far? And what I'll do here is do something like session attributes.progress. Let's actually uncomplicate this. Var question, let question to be asked is equal to session attributes.progress plus 1, right? And we just pass that in here. We call this question to be asked. So what we are going to do here is question of question to be asked. Just give me a minute, folks. All right. So what we are doing here is we are taking the progress question, we are adding 1 to it. So that would be question of 1 to be asked, question of 2 to be asked, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think this should be fine. Okay, and speak output plus here is your first audio clip, audio files URL dot file, so that should be fine. The audio file is playing fine. Can you guess who this is? Right, so in fact I don't think we need this next question. And last but not the least, I think we need to do something like this, where we need to get the correct movie. I think we need to update all these 4 variables. Okay, so what are these 4 variables? One is correct movie, correct actor, current question, and progress. So progress is going to be question to be asked. That is fine. Current question is going to be not question of 0. I think it's also going to be question to be asked. So if the value is 1, it should be 1, right? And let's just copy this, paste it in here, and let's hope that works. I have a feeling this is going to work, but I also have a feeling this is not going to work. So I think I'll just return Schrodinger's code here. Yeah, I think we have incremented oxygen box. We have incremented the progress here. So I think we are good to go. Let's see. But let me know if I'm missing something here. Pretty sure I might be missing something here. Let's delete this. Okay. And let's open this up from starting. Open the dialog quiz. Mute the site. Marlon Brando from Godfather. So the answer is correct. So this time, here is your first audio clip. So this is going to be Matthew McConaughey, and let's see what happens once I ask Matthew McConaughey. So I think now this should change totally, but let's see. Let's figure this out. Okay, so it had trouble doing what you had asked. Let's see if we can figure this out. What did we do wrong here? Okay. What did we do wrong here? Let's look at the JSON. So I said Matthew McConaughey. So it did land in Matthew McConaughey. And progress was 0. User score was 0. Okay. Right. So I think that's where we kind of are stuck at this point. User score is 5. Okay, so I think this is where we need to look at. But why is the current question 2? Yeah, because that is, yeah, the current question is 2. Yes. But now let's just check. So it has to come here and say console.log, we are here. In the next question. Okay, let's do an ask deploy -t lambda. Let me just put up my other computer here. Alright, so this seems to be deployed. So let's just go in here, delete the user, actions, delete, exit. Okay, so open the dialog quiz. Marlon Brando from Godfather. Now let me find a player for you. Can you guess who this is? Right, so this is going to be Brad Pitt. Come on, Brad Pitt. Okay, Brad Pitt just gave us an error. Let's see. We are here in the next question, so we are entering the next question for sure. And then, okay, so I think there's some issue happening here. Maybe I'll need to do a try catch. But hey folks, I think it looks like I got a work call, but maybe does next question have a written statement? You know what? Yes, it does have a written statement here, uh, oxygen box. So I've got a call, and it looks like maybe I might have to just spend like 5-10 minutes on the call, and I might be able to do come back to the stream for like say 10-15 minutes. I think we are pretty close to getting this worked out. So I am kind of going to mute the stream and put up a be right back banner, and you guys can hang on, and maybe I'll come back in the next 15 minutes or so at the max. And if not, I'll make sure to end the stream so that you know that I'm not going to be able to come back, but most probably it looks like I should be able to come back in like 5-10 minutes or so, 10-15 minutes. That looks like tops. And yeah, so I'm just going to be muting my stream, and I'm going to be putting up a be right back banner. You guys hang on here, just go do anything else if you had anything on your mind. But yes, I'll get back to you in a while. All right, do we still have you folks here on the stream? Just had a quick work call to be attended to. But yes, I'm just back, and I think I'm just going to spend 10 more minutes, solve this issue, and then wrap up for today. But yes, because this was an issue that was just on my mind, I just thought I'll just finish this, wrap this up. So what looks like the issue here? Let's delete the log streams. Let's come back. So I think what's happening here is, glad to know you're still here, Oxenbox. Let's check this. I'm kind of feeling that the current question is the value that it's not working properly. And oh, you know what folks, I think I found out where the issue is. Or did I? No, I thought I did not change the value. Looks like dialogues.hollywood question of questions to be asked. Wait, I think this is where I'm kind of making a mistake. Question of, yeah, I think this is perfectly fine as well. Let's actually deploy and see where we are failing. If we are not getting the current question, console.log test, let's see if this works. Let's do a deploy lambda. Just give me a minute, folks. Okay, looks like that's deployed, and what we are going to do here is, let's open up the code. Let's open up the testing simulator. Let's reload this, and let's delete this user. Let's try this again. Give me the right answer. Marlon Brando from Godfather. That is the right answer. And now what should happen is, actually I think we should kind of save this, Brad Pitt from Fight Club. Right, so the audio clip is going to be Brad Pitt from Fight Club. We know this from here. Can you guess who it is? Well, that's Brad Pitt from Fight Club. Well, let's just save this here. Now let's open up the database, the logs, and here, so we are here in the next question. So that is something that we reached. Okay, and the current question did work properly. Oh, okay, so I think this was where we are failing. So object.keys of data, this should not be data.game.questions, but it should be, wait a minute guys, so this should be, and I believe it should be session attributes .game.questions, right? So what it is going to do finally is it's going to go here, session attributes .game.questions, and out of here it's going to convert these to the keys, right? So that's, I think that's what we want. Do we remove this game? Yeah, we need this questions in here, right? Yeah, this is where I think we were doing an issue. This should solve it, hopefully, fingers crossed. Just had a very tiring day, folks, and it's still not ended. I think once I wrap this up, I should be in a better place. I should be able to sleep happily because my code is working. Let's just delete this and let's reload the page. Open the dialog quiz. Marlon Brando from Godfather. Let me find a player to compete with. The answer is still right. The player is Karthik. Here is your first audio clip. Let's play the audio clip soon. And now, yes, that's Brad Pitt from Fight Club. What went wrong this time? Let's go back. Beats me. So I think at this point we've reached here. So we reached to the test part. Question of, okay, what did we do wrong here? Well, oh, I think I'm doing something wrong here. I think this is where I'm messing this up. Hollywood. Yeah, I think this is wrong. If I want, okay, so let's let me think about this a bit, right? So we've got question, and what this question does is it's an object of keys, right? So typically the output for us is going to be, I started Postman again, wait. So what we are going to get out of this is we are going to get an array which says 1, 3, 4, 5 and 6, right? That is what we are going to get in here. It says 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And then what I do is movie data dot dialogues dot Hollywood, and I want to get the next question's audio file, right? And what I do is whatever is the question to be asked, so if it was 0 earlier, I'm changing it to 1. So session attributes dot progress was 0, so it's going to be 1 here in this case. So I'm going to say question of 1. So in Hollywood, inside Hollywood, 0, 1. I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. I'm kind of a bit confused here. So wait. Yeah, so question of 1, right? So question of 1 is going to be 3, right? So it's going to be 3. So it's going to get me the third question, right? That's how it should work. But that doesn't seem to be the case. And here's your first audio clip. Can you guess who this is? Well, beats me. What did we do different here? In fact, let's actually do something. Console.log question to be asked. Console.log movie data dot dialogues dot Hollywood questions to be asked, right? Wait, did I capture that correctly? Yeah, I think I captured it correctly. Let's see. Lambda. Okay. Delete. Let's try this again. Open the dialog quiz. Marlon Brando from Godfather. Matthew McConaughey from Interstellar. Right, so this is your first question. So I hope that I answered it correctly. Yes, that is correct. So now, did I come in here? Yeah. So this looks like something. I'm coming in here. Let's check. So we are here in the next question. So 2.8. Well, that seems to be perfect. But then, for some weird reason, movie data, which is skilldata.js .dialogues.hollywood 1 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. The eighth question, which is movie data .dialogues.hollywood. So you see, after test we do get the 8 coming in, but this is where the issue is. The real issue is with this, right? What makes it work here but do I need to do something like let actual question is equal to question to be asked, and maybe it doesn't take that value? Yeah, it is the right one, right? So actual question, let me just put in I did oxygen box. I logged question to be asked, and that is what you got as 8. This is what we are not getting, right? This should typically send us back this item, which is Little Women, but that seems to be the issue. So let actual question is equal to question to be asked. Console.log actual question. I don't believe I'm doing this, and maybe this should help. In fact, let's actually, if we are doing this, let's actually do that right. Let's do it here as well. And I'm just putting in any values at this point, folks. Okay, let's come back here. Let's reload this. Let's delete this user, exit. Okay, so Marlon Brando from Godfather. Maybe I need to cast it to a member. I really doubt that, but maybe that's something that we'll try next. But good catch, Oxygen Box. Maybe that might have been the issue. That could actually be the issue. We'll figure out pretty soon. So Brad Pitt from Fight Club. Yes, so it looks like, let's come here and let's look at the code. Test 3, so that looks like, what did we log actually? So this is 3, but I think I need to convert it to an integer, and convert string to int Node.js. Is that, what's the function called as? Is it called parseInt, right? ParseInt. Let's actually try that. Actual question is equal to parseInt actual question 10. Maybe this should solve this. Good catch there, Oxygen Box, and I think that might have been the issue. Really hope that is the issue though, because if it is not, I don't think I have it in any more in me today to finish this. We'll have to come back to this at a later stage. Question to be asked. Yeah, I think that should be fine. I don't think a problem there. I don't see a problem with that. Open the dialog quiz. Marlon Brando from Godfather. Here's your first audio clip. That's Brad from Fight Club. Still no luck. Doesn't look like that's the issue here. But what's the log type? Console.log type of actual question, and now let's deploy. And I think I need to kind of build that return experience really fast, because if we don't build that, we have to go back and delete the user every now and then. So I think we'll take that up next. But this is the last thing that we are going to be trying here, folks, and then maybe we'll wrap up for today. Let me do Marlon Brando from Godfather. That's Brad Pitt from Fight Club. Yeah, maybe try coding actual question just to see the rest of the code is valid. That's a good idea. Maybe that's something that we can do. That was not supposed to work, but let's look at the code. What did type of return? Yeah, it was a string, then it became a number. So that should have worked for us, right? Let's do 4, 4, 4, right? Question to be asked. I think, what was the current question? What was the type of current question? It was a string, right? So I don't think there's a problem with that. In fact, let me actually do this. Console.log. We are here. Do we fail here? Just trying everything at this point, folks. Let's delete the user. Delete the log streams. Open the dialog quiz. Did we deploy? No, we did. Marlon Brando from Godfather. I think I can directly say Brad Pitt from Fight Club. Okay, let's look at what happened this time. Logging, logging, logging. That's weird. It looks like movie data.dialogs.hollywood of 4.file is not working. Or in fact it didn't reach via here, right? So it has to be either one of these lines that's causing the issue. And I don't think there's an issue with this. I think there's an issue with this. Let's just actually do this. Console.log. Hello. Why are you failing, good sir? Always helps to have some sarcastic message in the logs. Okay, is it? That's weird. Right, open the dialog quiz. Let's wait for the audio to play. Marlon Brando and Brad Pitt. Oh, okay. Oh, I was not supposed to do that. Let's just delete the user, and if this doesn't work this time, folks, I think I'm just going to wrap up now. But yeah, open the dialog quiz. Marlon Brando from Godfather, and let's actually do Matthew McConaughey from Interstellar. Yeah, let's look at the code. That seems to have worked. So it did get the file after all. Oh my goodness. I changed this to speak output. I didn't use speech output here. Can you believe me? It was just the wrong variable name that we were using here. How can I be so stupid? Oh God. Yeah. So that happens. So you know why I have been having a very tiring day. So I think that I just didn't see that. I was using the wrong variable. Tell me about it, Oxygen Box. Tell me about it. So I think this should work now. But let's add this as well. Open the dialog quiz now. Alright. Let's delete the user. Actions. Delete. Exit. Open the dialog quiz. Marlon Brando from Godfather. So now it's Brad Pitt from Fight Club. So let's do Brad Pitt from Fight Club. There we go. We've got Tom Hanks from Forrest Gump. So your opponents, you get 10 points, your opponent scored 5. Here is your first audio clip. So basically it should say here's your second audio clip. And then it should play Forrest Gump's voice. And then I say Tom Hanks. It should say, that's right, correct answer, right? So it should kind of keep on adding. So there we go. That was what it was all, and we spent a lot of time, I think half an hour, just figuring out, just because we had we've been using the wrong variable. So I think these kind of things happen. But the exciting part is we are at this point set up with the gameplay where it keeps on asking again and again the different questions, right? From this point onwards, we just need to fine tune it so that it accepts the next question, and then it stops at 5 questions as well. And then we also need to kind of save all these questions, save all these scores to the database so that also happens. So I think pretty much a lot of things remaining, but I'm really happy that we were able to achieve a lot of stuff, at least to this point. So this marks a good milestone. But yeah, that brings me to an end of today's stream. We did a lot of work on this so far, and excited to see where this game is going around. Pretty sure in the next couple of weeks we should be able to kind of submit for certification. I kind of want to at least have a basic certification level feature so that we could get it tested by other folks as well, so that we get some feedback as well on our skill. But hey, thanks everyone for joining in. Auction Box, Monish, um, and Deepanshu, JB Nun, everyone, thanks for joining in. Really appreciate all of you hanging around and helping me out with this. See you all on Wednesday, and let's take it from there. Thank you very much.